was breathless, my heart restless. Every turn felt like it was wrong, but I kept going to show I was strong. Pushing to my own song, but you came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be I'm letting your light shine. I'm letting your love work through me. In every moment, breathe in this moment. You came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be still, to know. You came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time, I needed to be still.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up for another amazing banger by Lex Blaze and Danny Paul. Touchdown to Heathrow, DP and me, bro. About to hit the club and turn the shoot to a freak show. Look through the peephole, everybody geeks, yo. Need to get girl with an extremely deep. See six midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. You know what's going down every time that we are down. Take a look through through the peephole. Yo, everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them leaks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. To a freak show. Look at Snow White eating rotten apples. Dirty bass that be coming at you. Roller coasters like a supernova. I'm the ringmaster, this my tabernacle. See you screaming, I'm like, what for? Oh, you pop? Yeah, I got pop.
Yo, what's up, Prophecy Cup? Tonight we got Sentinels versus Leftover Lads for you. Sentinels on the blue side, Leftover Lads on the red side, and we're getting into Champion Select now. Hello, hello.
Turn the club into a freak show.
Alrighty, so we're getting the first look at the bands here tonight. Looks like Sentinels wants nothing to do with that Akali and Echo in the mid lane. They're gonna take away Graves as well, and Leftover Lads. You see their bands, well spread out. I believe actually targeting top lane actually this time. Taking away a new player actually for Sentinels, whose name I really can't pronounce. I guess I'll just call him Urt, because that name is pretty crazy, but I think we're getting a little bit of World's inspiration being drawn in this draft. Got the first pick, which was something that Wonder played last night to brilliant effect for G2. And it was really, really impactful in some of those series in the group stages of play-ins. So we're going to see Urgot coming out, and then a Heimerdinger as well for Sentinels. I'm not sure if that's going to be in the mid lane or the bot lane. And on the side of Leftover Lads, they've opted in for Talia and Morgana. And it looks like we're going to get the bot lane now locked in for Leftover Lads, taking that Caitlyn off the table. It's going to allow them to ban any 80 carries away that they would like to without the threat of losing any marksman picks themselves. Jack's being banned away here. And I'm not really sure why they've chosen to ban Jax unless they are afraid of Peachy Lote's Jax. Because we already see this Urgot being picked up. And another pair of mid laners being taken away. We got Vigard being taken away and Malzahar as well. And there goes the Mundo, which I think Sentinels are thinking that that's a pretty good pick into Urgot, so might as well just take it away. And we're going to get Asterisk picking up Lissandra, I believe, for his mid laner. I believe Babs played that in the past to actually pretty good effect. So that's going to be a good champion for him. Always a possibility that it does go into the top lane as well for Roxas, but I think that they're going to stick it with the mid laner here. Oh, and we're actually going to get an Ornn picked here, so I'm guessing this Urgot's going to go into the mid lane for pickaxe, and Ornn really a champion that thrives in top lane, doesn't really have much of a great time in any other lane, so we're probably going to see the Ornn in top lane and Heimer move down to the bot lane. And looking at the composition for Sentinels, it's a composition that is pretty based around their Urgot. They have a lot of engage tools for him to work around, and it's just going to be a bit of a pile on, sort of five champions just running at the enemy team. A lot of engage potential, a lot of follow up with the Nocturne and Urgot as well. And it looks like, wow, actually Leftover Lads taking a Kindred as their last pick, and it seems like they've actually decided to move the Talia into mid lane this time, move the Lissandra into top lane. And I think that's a response to the final two picks from Sentinels, because I don't think that was the initial plan from Leftover Lads, but they decided that, well, Kindred's up, our jungler's really good at Kindred, and it'll allow us to disengage some of these hard engage fights that we'll see Sentinels trying for with the Ornn and the Nocturne. So it should at least delay some of those hard follow-up engages that we see, and keep them alive for a little bit longer, maybe extend fights out long enough for Caitlyn to do her work in the backlines. But it's definitely going to be a tough job for Leftover Lads keeping Sentinels at bay, keeping them away from the carries and disengaging these fights.
Only
Alrighty, so I got the overlay set up here, and we're ready to get in the game now. If you're just joining us, this is the first game of the series, so you're just in time. And yeah, we're actually going to see an Aftershock Lysandra in the top lane. And that is Roxas. On our jungle, going to be on the Kindred in the jungle. We got Babs in the mid lane on Talia. Astra's playing the Caitlyn in bot lane this game. And Otunex, not familiar with that name. I think he's one of their subs. He's going to be playing Morgana in the support role. And as for Sentinels, we're going to get Urt in the top lane, Peachy Lotte in the jungle, Pickaxe on Urgot in the mid lane, and Collinator and Liquid in fourth in the bot lane. And I got the spectator bug. So I'm gonna get things reconnected here. Oh, he is a starter. So Tunix is a starter. I'm not sure why. I don't remember seeing that name, but yeah, hopefully we'll get in this game soon here. Alrighty, nice. So it looks like we're all spread out here in a 5-point for both sides. Not too interesting.
Minions have spawned.
And the idea behind this Lysandra Aftershock is that, you know, you get a little bit more tanky stats from the Aftershock proc, which is going to go off after she hits her CC on a target. And that should allow her to have a little bit more time to engage these fights. But actually, they're going to send Roxas into the mid lane here. And they're actually going to put Talia in the top lane. This is some like next level stuff right here. I guess they're saying, you know, these are the better matchups for us, so we're going to take the Talia in the top lane and have a little bit of extra range for the top laner and avoid some of the harass that Ornn can throw down. And they also get some range in the mid lane as well versus Urgot. Oh, we're going to get some pings going down the top lane here. Roxas is going to get a little bit too close for comfort against Pickaxe, though, and he's going to take a lot of damage. And meanwhile, we're going to get a little skirmish here. Kindred a little bit too close as well for comfort. But that smite's going to go down from Peachy Lotte on the Nocturne. He's going to take away that Scuttle Crab. Roxas again taking a bit of extra poke here. He's got the stun though, and he will root Urgot up. So Nocturne able to deny that first mark away from Kindred. Definitely a success for him. Both junglers having gone into their opposite sides of the jungle now. Bit more spread out, and Kindred's going to be able to get this next Scuttle Crab, which is her first mark. Pickaxe jumping forward there a little bit in the mid lane, looking for some extra damage. He's got spellbooks, Summoner Spellbook, so see what extra summoner spell he picks up on his first back. He's going to be able to get back into lane quickly as well with the teleport, and Lysandra will be able to do that as well. But, oh, Actually gonna see Kindred coming down here in the bot lane. Wasn't able to get much of a effective gank off there. Heimerdinger's turret's definitely a nuisance for her. And it looks like she's actually gonna path back over in the jungle. Drop. Oh, look at that pickaxe dropping really low. It's gonna be one more auto attack, and Roxas takes out Urgot there on a little bit of an overextension from him. Didn't really see what happened there, but it looked like pickaxe was winning the trades there, and he ends up having to burn his flash and die as well simultaneously. Nice stun coming out from Babs here. He gets the last auto attack in. He's gonna take down Urt. Really nice seismic shove coming out from the pseudo top laner this game in Babs, and both of them are gonna have to burn their flashes, but that's gonna be a effective flash for Babs, getting a lot of value out of that. Astra's here in the bot lane looking for as much CS as he can get versus this Heimerdinger. Definitely a frustrating pick, and when paired with the Tam Kench, it just means a whole lot of safety really in this bot lane for Sentinels. Honor jungle taking very low. I think he might execute actually. Yep, he's gonna execute to the Raptors there. And a few missing pings for him. And I believe, yeah, that is Psych Chimps, just on a different name, but definitely a very good Kindred player. Having a little bit of difficulties here versus Peachy Lotte. Already having seen him taking away that first Scuttle Crab, denying that mark, and sort of forcing Honor Jungle into a less desirable path in the jungle. We're going to have to see what happens here. Peachy Lotte is going to run in the Babs. Seismic Shove going to deter any engage there, and he's got the backup of Honor Jungle. So leftover lads here sitting two kills ahead, but only about 600 gold up, and some of that difference I think being made up in the jungle camp discrepancy. Peachy Lotte having about one more camp. Horn coming out. Babs coming in here on the Talia. Colony are actually TPing up here. We got a 4-on-3 here now, and that's gonna mean a lot of hurt here. Ooh, Urgot ult gonna land on the Honor Jungle. That's gonna drop the Kindred, and look at this. Liquid and Fourth is actually gonna be up here as well to provide a little bit extra support. That's 5 members of Sentinels all collapsing there for a nice punish there against the leftover lads, and that's what you reap. You reap those rewards of bringing what is effectively 4 teleports into this game, and it allows the duo in bot lane to help out and assist in that huge 3-on-3 fight that turns into 3-on-5. We're actually going to see Honor Jungle finding Peachy Lotte here. Peachy Lotte not able to really spell shield anything there, and he's going to have to try to get out of this. Oh, Honor Jungle flashing forward, going to get that finishing auto attack. So nice punish there. Peachy Lotte trying to steal away that red buff, but maybe not expecting Honor Jungle to show up that quickly into the jungle. So he's going to take this away, get level 5, and he'll be about, oh, I think it's like 4 camps away from level 6 now. Not really sure about that. But that should give him a much better footing now to deal with this Nocturne in any skirmishes that they find themselves in. Heimerdinger was able to back. He was able to pick up that lost chapter. Astris, on the other hand, was able to pick up a nice BF sword. So, whereas, you know, the teleports from the bot lane to the top side, 4 Sentinels did help them get those 2 kills. They also sacrificed a few advantages in bot lane here and allowed Astris to get that free recall. Oh, trap hits onto Liquid. He's going to get double trapped, actually. A couple of headshots landing on the Liquid. Both teams have blue buff spawn right now, and looks like Talia is going to get handed over the blue buff in the mid lane here. So, a bit of an advantage here in the mid lane for Talia, who's actually swap down from top lane here to face the Urgot. Now that she's hit level 6, I think they want to try to use her Weaver's Wall to create some plays. But Peachy Lote is actually coming in here. But look at this, Honor Jungle's in the perfect spot. He drops the ult, going to save his mid laner and actually take out Peachy Lote in the process. Pickaxe coming forward, going to try to finish off this kill on Honor Jungle, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 for both sides. Tam Kent showing up the mid lane as well. He doesn't really need to help in the bot lane, so might as well try to assist there, but he does blow that ultimate. I'm just going to switch back Babs now into the mid lane because that's where he seems to have made his home. And I'm not really sure what the lane swap was all about. I think that they just figured out that, well, Talia can do some work in the early levels versus that Ornn. And she's actually going to come down here now with the Weaver's Wall. She's going to look for the seismic shove, not going to hit. Asterisk with a nice ultimate, going to soften up Tam Kench there for Babs, and that's going to be all for Liquid. Calling there, nowhere to go. Nicely done, caught up there by Babs, and Pickaxe trying to answer here, but he's going to be able to flash in here. Looks for the Ignite onto Asterisk, but it's not going to be enough. Asterisk able to heal that up. And Babs looking to maybe he can chase him down here. Gets the Electrocute Pock. He just needs one more. Oh, and he's going to get it with the auto attack. Nicely done. Triple kill for Babs. Extended triple kill, essentially. Really well done there. And look at this. Honor Jungle's all over the place. He's going to be able to help out here with Lissandra. Lissandra's low on mana, though. I think she might actually go down. She's gone a little bit too far forward. The Ornhorn comes out here, and he's going to take him out. Knock up Honor Jungle. Look at that. Peachy Lote's here, too. Oh, man. 2 kills coming out from the side of Sentinels' top side there. That's going to be really nice for them. That was a situation where it looked like for certain Urt was going to go down, and he ends up salvaging it, delaying long enough for Peachy Lote to help out, and it's going to go for a 2-for-1 there. Urt coming in here, going to knock up Babs. There's a TP being channeled. It looks like it's Roxas on the side. He's going to be able to finish off Urt here. Peachy Lote in the process takes out Babs, though, and he's got a lot of auto attack power. He's actually at level 8 now, which is equal to the top laner here of Leftover Lads. So in the end, a bit of a extended 3-for-1. Ooh, Collinator gets a nice stun there onto face check of O2nex. And that's just a whole lot of burst damage coming out from Collinator. Nocturne channeling ult in the mid lane here, taking Babs low. Oh no, that's Honor Jungle actually. Kindred trying to hold the lane there for Babs. Gonna get punished by the combination of Peachy Lote and Pickaxe in the mid lane. Stun lands onto Asterisk here, and there's just action all over the place. I really can't keep up. I'm gonna have to take a sip of water here. Ooh, man. Definitely a lot of action this game. And I think the lane to watch right now is actually mid lane because of how low Urgot has dropped this mid lane tower. So we'll see if Nocturne decides to show up there, and if they are able to kill Babs on the Talia in the mid lane, they should be able to drop that first blood turret. Red buff being taken by Honor Jungle here. A lot of really, really good vision coming out from Sentinels here. They got bot lane jungle all warded up, and they got the top lane river with 2 control wards and that Skull to Crab as well. Honor Jungle here today being limited to just 2 stacks on her passive, so it's been a bit of a difficult time for Honor Jungle this early game. He has, however, found some use in a few of these skirmishes here, saving his mid laner from a gank, but he's really been not having the greatest time in terms of staying alive. He's got 5 deaths already. Roxas trying to kill his control ward. It's going to be in a lot of hurt, though, from him. Gonna actually, ooh, interrupt that. Nicely done from him. He's going to finish off Roxas there, who's not able to take that glacial path away. So actually, this is his debut on Sentinels. Oh, Collinator gonna empower that stun there. Stun up Astrus, but not quite enough damage. Collinator looking actually quite practiced, well practiced on this Heimerdinger pick. Definitely a big nuisance in the early game. Gonna be actually taking top lane turret down to about half health here. Oh, another stun gonna land, and oh, I thought that Nocturne was gonna be in the bot lane, but it's actually gonna be in the mid lane here. And Pickaxe gonna get the suppression down, drags Babs out of the safety of that ultimate there from Kindred, and he's gonna go down. And meanwhile, gonna get Collinator flashing forward onto the Morgana, takes out O2 next in the bot lane. And this is what I talked about earlier, Peachy Lotte showing up here in the mid lane looking for this first blood tower. But it looks like his bot lane's actually going to beat him to the task, and they take the first blood tower in bot lane. Honor Jungle being flashed upon here by Peachy Lotte. He's going to have to back up, though. Too much turret aggro. Oh, flash forward from Pickaxe. He's going to finish off Honor Jungle for his 6th death of the game. Nicely done by Pickaxe. Ooh, man. Definitely a rough time here for the Kindred. Not being able to really provide enough assistance in these skirmishes here. And yeah, this is Sentinels looking in a very prominent position right now. They're going to be able to... Oh, look at this. We're actually going to get a bit of a fight breaking down here in the bot lane. But that Tamketch... Oh, Tamketch actually wanted to walk forward here, but his... what was it? Whoever was captive inside his belly did not want to go forward. So, we're just going to get a disengage at the end of the day. And you can see, this is why Sentinels is actually so highly regarded right now and sitting at this 3-1 record in the league, is that they sure have a lot of ability to coordinate well with one another during the laning phase, and they are a really lovely team when it comes to warding as well. You can see how much vision they've captured all around the map. We're going to get engaged here, though. Babs coming up here. Gets a seismic shove on the Earth, but he's super tanky. We're going to get a couple of teleports into the top lane here. Collinator looking for this stun onto... Oh, he's going to take out Roxas here, and Honor Jungle falling for the 7th time. Babs looking for the seismic strike. Oh, nice flash away from Liquid. But it's not going to be enough. Babs with the kite. Really strong here. Collinator taking low, but Babs gets a nice barrier. Going to keep him alive. He was dishing out a lot of damage there, keeping Sentinels at bay, but it's not going to be enough to save this top lane turret. Really well done with the assistance from Collinator and Liquid there. Expending a Tam ultimate and a Heimerdinger teleport in order to get up there in time to help with the collapse there coming in from the mid lane. Talia's Weaver's Wall was able to cut off the Ornn there, but it wasn't quite enough to finish him off. He's just too tanky with that adaptive helm. And so now we get a little bit of downtime here, see if Sentinels can clear out some vision. Liquid in the 4th. Gonna be clearing out a trinket ward there. But Babs is really strong now. Roxas gonna be glacial pathing over. Liquid's in a bit of trouble there. And that seismic shove is going to be good. He's going to take him out here. Roxas with the kill. 3-man knockup coming out from but he's, for the most part, all alone. Collinator actually coming in here. He's going to put the exhaust down. Honor Jungle drops the ultimate to save his top laner here. And Peachy Lotte is going to finish off Babs. Roxas is going to fall as well to and Urt's just too tanky right now. He can just run at them and do a whole lot of disruption. Doesn't matter if it takes his team a few extra sections to get there. He's just too tanky. Gonna finish off Honor Jungle as well. And if that had been a fight that happens about a minute and a half later, that's gonna be Baron, but at the moment they're gonna settle for this top lane turret. Peachy Lotte taking low from the turret. Can they protect this Rift Herald though? Roxas does have teleport. Will he use the ward behind? And it looks like he's gonna go in here. He's channeling teleport. Otunix and Astrus are trying to hunt them down here. Over the wall, Glacial Path and a root up pickaxe. Take him away from the fight, and they're gonna try to isolate Urt here. Seismic Shove gonna miss. Oh, but the binding is good. Oh, but Liquid's there for the nice Tahm Kench disengage. Ooh, that looked like a hairy position for them, but this Tahm Kench coming out really strong. Making up maybe for some of the lack of mobility that Urgot and Tahm Kench have. It really hasn't been used very much to save Heimerdinger because no one really wants to walk into this Heimerdinger, but it's definitely a nice utility pick for them. And again, you can see all this vision that they've accumulated in the top side here in preparation for this Baron. I think the way that the leftover lads have to look at getting back into this game really is through their AD carry. You know, at some point in the distant future, you hope that Caitlyn's going to start out DPSing the Heimerdinger. Roxas looking for the Glacial Path out of here. He's going to have to burn the ultimate, though, and I think that's actually Ornn going to burn his teleport. Maybe looking for an extended engage here. He's going to look for Babs here. Knocks up Talia in the top side jungle here, and that's going to be Culminator finishing off with a nice Q, and Roxas is going to fall as well. That's a double kill going over the Collinator, and that teleport paying off for Ornn here. It's going to be a couple of kills and what should be a likely Baron. Pichilote actually sitting 3 levels ahead of Kindred here, so he has the huge smite advantage. But it looks like the leftover lads are going to say goodbye to this Baron. So Baron going over to Sentinels on a really nice engage there from the Ornn. And they're going to have this Baron buff for the next couple of minutes now. Let's see if they use it for the waves or if they decide to go to the dragon. Babs here on a ward. He's going to get spotted out. Nocturnaut's going to come in. Seismic Shove's going to get spell blocked by Pichilote, and Honor Jungle is just a little bit too late here. Talia not able to kite into the Kindred ult, and that's going to be a double kill for Pichilote. Pichilote having a lot of impact here. Oh! That Q was a little short, but pops the stopwatch anyway, just in case. Ooh, nice black shield coming out here from Otunix. Going to save Astrus for the time being. Trap going to land onto Urt. Going to get the headshot down. Roxas is actually here. I think he somehow got in from behind. He's going to drop the ultimate onto Urt, but he's just not far enough ahead here, and he's going to get finished off by Pickaxe, trying to run away. Just not enough damage. He has plenty of tanky stats. He's got an adaptive helm and a bit of armor, but oh, flash coming forward. Otunix does not have flash, and that should be all he wrote. Gets finished off by the Urgot there. Ash just gonna drop to a nice Q from Collinator. Tahm Kench channeling ultimate. Who's he gonna take with him? It's gonna be Ornn actually, and Collinator with a nice final auto attack to finish off on our jungle. Boy, this guy just can't stay alive. It's been a rough game for them. And Babs trying his best here to clear out these minions, but the Baron buff is just too much. That is actually a full Zanya's Hourglass from Collinator being expended there to save his life from the Seismic Shove. But he's going to have that thing back up for the next fight, you think. Meanwhile, Pichilote decides to do the high reward play, get the Ocean Drake. Low risk, high reward. What? Tom Kench. What am I saying? Tam Kench? I'm trying to say Tom Kench, but I have to say it super fast, so. Tom Kench. One man's Tom Kench is another man's Tam Kench. Orn here looking for the knockup. Gonna hit that. And this is gonna be a dead Lissandra. So, Roxas getting caught up here in the top lane. Binding not gonna land. And without the Baron buff, these minions are much easier to clear away, but Urgot in the meantime gonna be taking away this bot lane turret for free. Without Roxas here, it's really hard for leftover lads to resist these pushes. They have to actually send Kindred into the bot lane here to deal with the Urgot, and I think Urgot will still be able to take that. Oh, Collinator taking about half health here. Orn gonna get out of that situation. Urgot on the other hand, he's really unstoppable here. He's gonna be popping that Righteous Glory, looking for a little bit of extra damage onto Honored Jungle. Not gonna quite find it. Oh, we're gonna get a bit of a engage in the top lane here, looking for knockup on the Babs. Gonna flash away there. Urch just so tanky here. Seismic Shove lands onto him though. Peachy Lotus is gonna take out Morgana. Roxas gonna try to channel that ultimate, but oh, we're gonna get Honor Jungle popping his ultimate. Gonna save Roxas for just that little bit longer. Sentinels taking a turret tower here, but turret damage, but they're just gonna steamroll through here. There's not much leftover lads can really do. And this is going to mean 3 waves of supers eventually. And against Caitlyn that's already quite behind, it's going to be very difficult for her to clear it out. And that should be game 1 for Sentinels. GG.
That's the way every day goes. Looking back, I know we started falling. We were falling in love, yeah. Took my heart and you rode off. Was I feeling never enough for you, baby? When you left me chasing you. Chasing you. Trying to find a place where we can be alone. All those lights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight. Like it's a vibe under your spotlight.
Yo, thank you everyone for the follows. Alright, here we go for game 2, guys. So game 1, pretty commandingly taken by Sentinels on the blue side. This game they're going to be switching over to the red side, as leftover lads have opted to take their blue side, which is currently seen as the more desirable side, I think, to have getting that first pick. Under your belt, definitely a positive in this patch. Same bans actually as last game. We're gonna see Rise and Gangplank being taken away from Urt. But this time we're actually gonna see a bit of a change from Sentinels. They're gonna take away that Urgot. They don't want that being first picked. And actually a bit of a change here. They're gonna take away the Heimerdinger, which was quite a nuisance in the bot lane for Collinator. Taking that teleport meant that he also could assist with his, or with the other areas of the map as he saw fit, and he was able to get a pretty consistent pushing lane and bot lane as well with it. And no change, Graves gonna be banned away as well. Ornn gonna be taken first this time for Roxas, which is the pick that Urt had a lot of success on last game. Kai'Sa and Braum going to be picked over on the side of Sentinels bot lane, and that's a nice pairing for sure. Kai'Sa's got a lot of scaling. Braum going to be there to provide some of that all-in potential that Kai'Sa can be so good at. And now we got Talia and Taric being taken by Sentinels, which means a lot of team fighting, utility. And we saw Honor Jungle not having too much success on Kindred last game, so it looks like he's going to be opting for a bit of a different pick this time. Taking a well, actually, you know, it could be Babs that holds on to this Talia actually in the mid lane like we saw last game. So it is a bit of a flex pick for the leftover lads that we'll have to see how it turns out. A bit of a surprise here, Jhin being banned away by Sentinels. I'm not sure why that's the case. It doesn't seem to pair very well with Taric, but I guess it could be a dangerous pick if you pair it with an Ornn ult. Yeah, that's right. Braum also being left open means that he should be able to, with pretty good consistency, deny the Ornn his Ornn horn. And actually Poppy gonna be banned away here. So less tank options available for the Sentinels this game, but they still have a lot of different picks that they can put in the jungle here. This is a Skarner that might provide a lot of early game pressure. So I think that's definitely a very, very strong pick for Sentinels. Especially if they are able to take advantage of his early game pressure. Peachy Lotte last game was on the Nocturne, and he showed how much pressure he can put on the map with that champion. So let's see if he can replicate that with the Skarner. Echo being locked in here along with the Tristana in the bot lane. So we're going to get a nice pairing in the bot lane for leftover lads. Definitely a lot of synergy between the Taric and the Tristana, who can jump forward with a stun being procced from Taric. That provides a lot of burst. It does have a bit of a tough time in the laning phase because of Tristana's low range, but I don't think Kai'Sa and Braum are going to be able to punch that very hard. And this time around, we're going to see Honor Jungle actually taking the Talia this time. We're going to give Echo over to Babs. which I think is a more appropriate alignment for these champions. I don't think Talia is quite as strong as she used to be in the mid lane, and with her changes earlier in the season, she definitely suits herself well in the jungle. But certainly a lot of pick power for Sentinels this game. They're going to have 2 suppressions available to them in Skarner and Malzahar. Damage is a bit of an issue for their team composition, but it should become less of an issue as time goes on. Yeah, purple for really both sides actually. Tristana, quite purple. But Kai'Sa, Malzahar, Skarner, all looking very purple today. Braum as well. And to go along with that, we have a purple summoner spell as well. Teleport. Malzahar being taken in the mid lane. It's blue. Yeah, so thanks for joining us tonight, guys. We got a 1-0 series underway tonight. Game 2 coming up. Yes, indeed, fantasy points on the line. This is still a week 4 game. And although this is our last day of week 4 in Prophecy Cup, we do have a couple more games from week 4 being scheduled in a couple days' time. So it's going to be a pretty busy week this upcoming week in terms of games. There should be 7 or 8 games over the next 7 days, and this is the time in the season where I think lots of teams have a lot of room to make changes and come back from poor records. And it's also a time where those teams in front, you know, they're under a lot of pressure to stay in front. And both of these teams actually sitting at very comfortable records. Sentinels currently sitting 2-1 now, and actually both teams are 2-1. So this means a lot for them. A win here should move them up into a tie for the top 3, and a loss will send them down into 5th or 6th. Oh yeah, that's right. They did. Both of these teams are playing teams, and they did meet each other in the play-in tournament. So definitely 2 success stories, along with Sad Boys coming out of the play-ins. So definitely putting on, or exemplifying how successful you can be in your first season in Prophecy Cup if you manage to get through the play-in tournament. And as is the case here, I'm going to have to restart. Oh, I have to fix my overlay too. Hold on. Yeah, small indie company, by the way. Alright, that's better.
Minions have spawned.
Alrighty, so we got Spires this game. Now that Skarner's in here, Babs and Roxas going to take that first Spire on the top side. And it looks like Sentinels on the red side going to take over that Spire in the bot side river. Nice ward being popped down by Malzahar, and kind of strange here. I don't know what Echo's decided to do. Oh, he's just looking for a Spire here. He's gonna walk into the mid lane here, a bit of a wonky angle, but he's just here to get some CS. The free Malefic Vision is gonna be popped down on Debs. So it looks like Talia's path is actually going to be red to blue. Going to look for maybe a Skull Crab right after. And Skarner's going to be finishing up that Gromp in the bot lane. Or in the bot side jungle, I should say. Sentinels hitting level 2 here, but nice stun from O2Nex on the Terror. Going to dissuade any engages. Skarner completes that Scuttle Crab in the bot river. He's gonna be pathing over to his Riff, or his Raptors side here now. Pretty prominent trade there being taken by Babs. He's able to pop the Malzahar spell shield. And we're gonna get a little bit of a scuffle here in the jungle. Honor jungle looking to deny some Raptors away from Peach Lose. Roxy's gonna get taken really low here in the top side, but not sure what happened there. He was able to pop his way out of there. Gonna face check there. Gonna find a Talia waiting for him, so flash being burned by him. Spectator doing me dirty there. Want to look at bot lane, but I wanted to see that top lane scuffle. Again, Honor Jungle looking for a bit of extra pressure here, but he's spent a lot of time just walking around, and it's cost him a little bit of tempo in terms of clearing out his own jungle. Skarner looking to clear out his red buff here. He might run into Talia. Talia's actually seen him, but Pichiote is not aware that he's sitting in this brush, and he's going to have to flash away. Nice auto attack and flash coming in from Honor Jungle. He's going to finish him off for first blood. So a bit of a superior vision war being won over there by Honor Jungle, and it's going to allow him to take out the opposing jungler in Pichilote. So nothing much happening here, just continuing to farm up in the bot lane. Leftover Lads this time was able to capture a pretty big lead in topside. Unlike last game where they were woefully struggling. But you remember last time they did put Talia up in the top lane for the laning phase. Skarner looking for a gank here into mid lane. Echo is not going to be able to see this out. Oh, actually he does see it out. Pichilote was spotted on a ward there. Oh, Tunic's looking for a stun in here. Can't quite find it. Liquid's going to be hopping forward here looking for a stun, but going to have to back away. He's taken down to about half health. Braum looking for this concussive blows proc. Oh, gonna miss that. Just a little bit right between the two champions here, but perhaps a little overextended. Urt's actually gonna be channeling his ultimate down here on our jungle, but a bit off a little bit more than he could chew, and that's gonna be him going down. Tunic's in a lot of trouble here. He's gonna be putting down the exhaust on the Collinator, but gonna save that flash. He knows he's dead. Was able to save Asterisk in the process. Is Asterisk gonna back here though? Nope. Pretty smart by him. He's gonna be able to stay here because Sentinel's also recalling, and he's gonna be able to save himself some farm there. Babs dashing forward. Pickaxe packs a big punch though. But now that the spell shield's off, maybe he can do a little damage here. Ooh, suppression gonna come down. That's gonna be Pickaxe almost finishing off Babs. He pops a barrier, and he does have ultimate left available for him. So very close to taking out Babs there before he was able to ultimate, but the barrier is just enough to keep him alive for that last few seconds, and he is able to pop the ultimate eventually. So no one going down in the mid lane there, but both ultimates being blown. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit of an engage here. Honor Jungle looking for another gank. This time in the top lane, gonna throw out that seismic shove, and it's gonna hit onto Urt, and that's gonna be Honor Jungle picking that one up. Nicely set up by Roxas on the Ornn there. Roxas actually being able to, after that first skirmish that we saw in the top side, he was able to gain a lot of pressure on Shen, and with Shen having to assist in bot lane as well, he's able to pick up about a 20 CS lead for the time being. Oh, Tunic's gonna get that nice dazzle down, stun away Collinator, and Asterisk is gonna be just fine here. Asterisk also down about 16 CS here, so, but I think that's to be expected. There's Tristana never having really an easy time in lane, and Liquid walking forward here, really doing a lot to just disrupt this the comfort that Atunix and Asterisk would otherwise have. Dazzle gonna be thrown down, gonna hit Liquid. That might be an opening though for Collinator, but he's not gonna take it. Roxas walking forward. He's gonna get taunted by Urt. Both top laners maybe not knowing where their enemy junglers are, and Shen's gonna have to flash away up there in the top side. Meanwhile, Spectator wants to watch this bot lane fight, and ooh, Liquid just gonna be throwing that Q a little bit wide. But is Collinator gonna take this? He does have ultimate. Nope, not gonna take it. Tarek's still holding on to his ultimate as well, so provides a bit of extra safety. And Echo is actually going to be walking down here into the bot lane. He's going to be spotted on that ward. Tristana coming forward. It looks like this is all a bait all along. Shen's going to be here in time. He's going to just barely take out Asterisk before that ultimate from Terra can fall down. Collinator walking, kiting backwards into the enemy team, and it's not going to save him. Bab's the only one left alive from that initial fight, and he's going to take out Shen there. So 3 for 1 going over to the side of the leftover lads. And this is going to allow a 2v1 to happen in top lane. Roxas going to have to flash out here. Pickaxe doesn't have his flash. He already used it in the mid lane, so he's not going to be able to chase as well. But Pichilote is going to stay on his tail. Can Roxas finish off Pichilote? Pichilote flashing out. This fight's going to take us all over the place. And Braum actually coming in from the side here. Pickaxe trying to get into range. It's going to drop the silence on Roxas. And that's the ultimate. Being dropped down. And Malefic Vision's going to finish off Roxas there. Meanwhile, we see Honor Jungle coming down in the bot lane here. And Babs is going to finish off Collinator under turret. So that's a very strong Echo at the moment, sitting on about 2,000 gold now for his next recall. 4 members of the leftover lads going to be trying to path into bot lane here, maybe take this first turret. Pickaxe gonna try to rush them, or race them I should say, but it's not gonna be quite fast enough. But he will at least get that mid lane turret, so even though he wasn't able to get the first blood turret, that's gonna be really nice for him. And without that mid lane turret, TLL will be not really able to keep track of Malzahar quite as much, and this should open up the map, and we might see some more open ground fights taking place in the next few minutes here. Roxas gonna knock out Liquid here, but he's got the assistance of his team. Echo gonna be jumping in, but that's gonna be Liquid taken down, and Astros actually wants to bite off a little bit more. Pichilote gonna suppress Tristana here, but there wasn't really enough assistance for him. He's gonna go down as well. Ornn popping that ultimate, looking for a engage on Natalia on the left side of the map, but she's gonna stay alive. And see, that's Babs going down. So really nicely done here from Roxas, picking up a couple of assists there, doing a lot of work in those fights. We see how that early advantage that he accumulated has been really put to good use. Honor Jungle going to be finishing off this blue buff here, not going to want to hand it over to the Echo, who I suppose they both equally utilize that blue buff, so I think you can comfortably give it over to your jungler there. Collinator in a bit of a spot of bother here, going to force out the Shen ult. Roxas is going to be trying to get out here, but Seismic Shove not going to be enough to save him. Ooh. Slow did land onto Honor Jungle, but he is able to kite that out. Meanwhile, Echo is pushing the bot wave here, so he's not going to be able to assist in this top lane fight. Sentinels showing their strength in terms of allocating champions where they need to be. Not losing too much for stacking up in the top lane here. Babs and Pichilote going to run into each other here. Babs looking for this blue buff steal, but Pichilote does have... No, he does not have smite, actually, so it's going to be coming down to that. Babs going to try to get out of this one. Pichilote has his ult coming up just now. Can he get away? No, he can't. He is going to get rooted up by that Echo, though. Echo looking for a little bit of extra damage and health from his ultimate. Malefic Vision's being dropped. Malzahar does have his ult here, so he's going to take the chance to do it right now. Pichilote looking for a little extra damage as well, but he's going to stay alive, and Pickaxe picking up a kill there. And on the other side of the map, we see Collinator taking out Honor Jungle on Natalia. And that death is really going to hurt him because that is the shutdown. So Kaisa is able to capture a bit of extra gold here. So we've sort of reached an impasse here. Neither team is really incentivized to fight for anything, but we are going to get an... Let's see. We are going to get an Ocean Drake being spawned in the next 45 seconds. Again, if you're just joining us, this series is currently 1-0 in terms of scoreline. Sentinels taking game 1. Ooh. Pickaxe maybe had an opportunity there to ultimate onto the opposing Talia there, but didn't take it. Talia gets some nice chip damage down onto Peachy Lotte. And when we're talking about team fights, that's going to mean a lot if Skarner starts off the fight at about half health. Babs in this top lane, quite far away from the action right now. He won't be able to assist with his team should a fight break out, but neither should at the moment. Does have his TP on cooldown. His ultimate is about to come off of cooldown though, so smart by Echo to path away from top lane and come down here in the bot side. Both of these teams looking very anxious now for this potential dragon fight to kick off. One Horn being channeled here. Terrical, not going to be enough to save his own life, actually, so he goes down. Going to take out Honor Jungle really quickly here. And it looks like the health bars are actually in favor of the leftover lads this time. And they're going to... No, excuse me, that's actually... That's Sentinels taking the fight there. So, even though Tarek... Or, excuse me, mainly because Tarek wasn't able to stay alive there, I think that's what cost them a bit there. So in the end, it's going to be a 3-for-1. Sentinels winning that fight. And Astrus and Babs, the only ones able to stay alive on the side of leftover lads. So the gold lead now going over to Sentinels' favor. Yeah, I see a lot of fantasy points on the line today as well. And yeah, both teams definitely producing a lot of fantasy points, because there's been a lot of fights. Yeah, Kaisa looking very strong now. She has a couple of items now. She has decided to build AD this game. So her auto attack's gonna hurt a lot more than her W. And I suppose that really benefits longer fights. It's not quite as strong versus tanks, but it is a nice source of AD damage. So Baron being spawned here in the next 5 seconds. Both teams looking to position themselves for that objective and potential team fight. Echo looking for some extra vision here, not going to be able to clear out that control ward. Looking for a nice trade, actually. Takes Roxas down to about 3/4 health. Looking for a taunt here, gets it on to Roxas. Gonna get a Grasp of the Undying proc as well. But these guys aren't going to die anytime soon. And really what they should be looking for is for potential TP plays into the Baron Pit or to assist with that, but ooh, actually Roxas take a big chunk out of Urt there. So Urt's gonna have to back off there. And Sentinel's gonna get mid priority this time. Two QSS being completed on the side of TLL now, so they might actually look for a fight. Bab's gonna stun Peachy Lotte. He's gonna have to ultimate out of here. He does have QSS available to him, but he's being chased down by 4 members of the Sentinels, and even though he does have that QSS, it's not gonna be enough for the CC that they provide and the damage as well. So it looks like Sentinels actually want to take away this top lane turret. Bab's falling there is a pretty bad mistake, and it's going to cost them a lot of vision here. But on the other hand, we do see that Leftover Lads have made the best use of their time here, and they're pushing for a mid lane inhib turret, which they should actually be able to get here. And that Shun actually channeling his teleport. Is it going to dissuade them? It is, but TLL getting a bit of a summer spell there. Oh, Skarner doesn't have ult here. He's going to get knocked up by the seismic shove. Urt a little bit too far in here. Taric going to take the time to channel his ultimate. Liquid popping up just Roxas, but it's going to dissuade a fight here and actually going to engage a fight. And that's going to be Braum and Ornn falling down for Leftover Lads. Echo actually coming in from the side here. He's going to get suppressed by Malzahar, and he's going to have to ultimate back out. So nicely done there from Pickaxe to keep his team safe from that Echo flank. So we see a 2-for-1 there at the end of the day. Next Drake is a Mountain. And Pickaxe having a quite impressive performance. He hasn't died yet. He's sitting at 3-0-6. And he's sitting at 2.5 items as well. Collinator also having a really nice game. He's got a nice score line as well. And he just completed his Runan's Hurricane on that back. So he's a 3-item Kaisa. And those QSSs are just currently sitting on Honor Jungle and Babs' item sheet here. And it's delayed some of their items for sure, but it does give them a little bit of extra safety. Asterisk hasn't completed his QSS yet. See if he gets that anytime soon. I think these fights really come down to how well TLL can coordinate their Taric ultimates, but if they're just running backwards all the time, it's not going to give them much of a chance. Actually, Re-Engage coming out here. Taric not actually having the ultimate available. Rox is going to get a couple of knockups here. He's going to go down, though. Oh, Echo on a nice flank. He's going to finish off Ornn there. And Asterisk jumping forward, going to finish off Peachy Lotte. Actually, Honor Jungle getting that one. 3-man taunt landing onto the side of TLL, but Honor Jungle going to finish off Shen there, and that's a 3-for-2 for TLL. They're fighting back really well here. Really nice flank coming out from Babs to finish off the low health members of Sentinels and Roxas, providing a lot of tanky utility for the team with a nice re-engage there. So we're going to get a few pings here onto the Baron. Neither team has been able to capture too much vision here. Blue Trinket goes down from Asterisk onto the Baron, and they're going to spot out a Baron being begun up here. Pickaxe going to lose his spell shield there. Babs takes it off of him. Shen going to be channeling the ult here on top of Pickaxe. Can they perhaps disrupt this Baron? It's being taken really low now. Taric's going to have his ultimate this time around, though, and going to save his team. TLL taking over the Baron there. 3-man stun coming out from O2Nix, but he's going to drop. Maybe he should have just ran away. But his ultimate there was able to buy enough time for his team to take away the Baron, and that Dazzle is also going to buy them an extra bit of time to escape with 4 Baron buffs. So definitely would have liked to save O2Nix's life there, but his efforts are worth it. Noteworthy actually is their double Mountain Drake with which actually helped them take that Baron down really quickly. Yep. Honor jungle, getting the smite down there. He had a pretty rough first game with 11 or 12 deaths, but he's come back with a vengeance here on the Talia, and he's had a really nice game. Asterisk completing the QSS now, so that's going to be another extra tool that they can use to get out of sticky situations. Taric ult as well, going to be critical for the next fight. It's currently on cooldown, so this might be Sentinels' opportunity to force a fight. Echo going to be looking for a bit of vision here. Last cone taken over by Babs. Gonna try to clear out topside here, but looks like Roxas actually wants that wave. So we have a bit of a weird split here, 2-3-0. And perhaps not one of TLL's strength. Really difficult for them to find what sort of combination of... Oh wow, Bab's taken really low. He's going to have to ultimate out. Echo looking for that stun. Oh, but look at how much damage that everyone does on the side of TLL, and they're going to take out Collinator and Urt simultaneously. Actually, that seismic shove doing just a ton of damage to melt through the members of Sentinels, and this is going to be a really difficult hold for Sentinels. QSS still available for Honor Jungle, but can they make this happen here? They're going to be threatening here. Bab's actually doing a ton of damage with the Malefic Visions. If he's able to get any of these members killed with it, it should be able to spread to the other members and do a lot of damage. He's taken Roxas extremely low, and Taric doesn't really want to assist anymore as well because he's so low. But in the end, they're going to be able to just barely muscle out that inhib, get out just in time before Collinator and Urt are able to respawn. So that's a top lane inhib for the leftover lads. Their Baron buff is about to expire as well, so very good utilization from them on the Baron buff. I think it could have been a little bit better if they were able to get another lane pushing, for example, bot lane, but you know, the good thing is that where is he? The good thing is that they are going to be able to eat up this big wave in bot lane because it did build up. Next dragon is going to be an Ocean Drake, not very sexy, to say the least, at this point in the game. The leftover lads were able to get a nice reset off of that back end of the Baron, so they were able to go back into the base and finish off a few extra items. Talia is sitting on 3 items now. She actually has 10 stacks on her Darkseal, so she packs a big punch. Seismic Shove gonna barely miss out there, but the Dazzle's gonna land onto Liquid. Another stun coming down from Babs, nicely done from him, but it's just gonna force away a flash from Liquid. So a flashless Braum now sitting at about half health, not gonna be a lot of use to them. It's just about a 5v4. And this is just TLL melting, or TLL slicing through Sentinels like butter now. And Talia dropping a nice Weaver's Wall, gonna cut off all but one member of Sentinels, and that's gonna be the inhib turret falling down. Urt looking for a taunt here. Roxas gonna get pulled in by the Skarner. Taric ult gonna get popped just for extra help there. Oh, but Collinator gonna take out Tunix, who stepped a little bit too far forward. Suppressor gonna land on the Babs. He's gonna QSS away though. Ultimate going back in. He's gonna get a 3-man stun here. Are they going to be able to finish this Sentinels team off? Oh, Asterix hopping forward. What a great stud coming out from Babs there. That's going to be triple kill coming out from Babs. Nicely done by him. And Asterix is full health here. There's no resistance. That's going to be an ace, and that's going to be the game. TLL bringing us to a game 3. Woo! So nicely done coming back there from a tough game 1 loss. TLL taking over game 2 with authority. Babs looking really strong on the Echo with a few flanks there. Stunning up multiple targets, finishing off low members of the Sentinels, and really great really great combination there on the W with the ultimate going back in to re-engage the fight and secure that ace with Astrus hopping in there. So we're gonna get going to a game 3 here. I'm gonna put on some music for you guys, and yeah, we'll hop right into it hopefully. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So the big question is, are leftover lads gonna ban away that Urgot? Because Pickaxe looked really good on it in game 1. So let's see what they take away here for their last ban. It should decide the fate of the rest of the draft, I think. They have already taken away that Rise and that Heimerdinger. And this time they're going to keep it the same. They're going to take away the Gangplank and they're going to leave that Urgot open. So they must have something planned in order to suppress that Urgot away. Maybe a Malzahar pick, for example, or a Rakan. Cassiopeia does pretty well versus the less mobile Urgot. And there are potentially other strange picks that we might see coming out in response to it. Urgot, a champion that does really well with a large front line in front of it as well, so maybe taking away something like an Ornn, for example, would be a great pick. Yep, and they're doing that. And what that does is really, it mainly just denies it away from the side of Sentinels and forces them onto either another tank or either putting Urgot into the top lane. But yeah, certainly I think most people thinking that Urgot should just be banned regardless of what sort of response you have prepared for it. Oh, and they're going to be able to get this Kaisa too, which is arguably just as strong as Urgot is right now in terms of relative strength and relative position. So, oh boy. This draft, I think, going heavily in the favor of Sentinels right now. They're able to pick up Braum as well to deny away any Ornn engages. If Liquid is able to block those Ornn ults, then should really shut down the utility that he provides. But Taric being taken over for Otunix this time, which was a very successful pick for them last game. So in terms of how they can use this Taric and Ornn combination, I think they should be able to do fairly well in these late game team fights as long as they are able to potentially draw out a early Braum shield and work around his denial. So if you're just joining us, guys, a pair of 2-1 teams battling it out here in week 4 for the chance to go to 3-1 and get one of those top 3 positions in Prophecy Cup. And it will set them up really nicely going forward because it will essentially allow them a lot more wiggle room as the weeks go on, and it should make their drive into the playoffs that much more easily achievable. So we're going to finalize a few picks here. We're going to see that Peachy Lotte is going to go back to the Nocturne, which he had a lot of success on in game 1, and paired with the Shen. That's going to allow Shen to get into the backline fairly easily if he is able to coordinate well with the Nocturne. I think the problem that we're going to see is that they're going to have to coordinate properly, and even though they are a bit of a engage heavy team, they also have a lot of opportunities to disengage as well, so finding the right mix for Sentinels is going to be their challenge. We saw that Garen being picked up on the side of the leftover lads, and that is going to be a placeholder, so we're going to get this Resident Sleeper Champ Select, quote unquote, run back a little bit here. It's going to be one more time. Hopefully these bans come a little bit quicker this time now that we know what everyone's picking. And it looks like Colin is saying that Garen is a Syndra pick. So we're gonna get to see Babs' Syndra this time. And that's a pick that he looked really impressive on in the past. And I believe the last time Babs played Syndra was actually last week when they took down Vortex in 3 games. And actually, stats coming in here, Syndra was 14-4-9 when Babs played it last versus Vortex last week. And he was a large factor in their ability to win that game 3, in which he provided a large bulk of their damage and a lot of utility as well, reaching with stuns at max range. So it's a bit of a game 3 pick here for Babs, the sort of comfort pick that he likes to choose in these high octane moments, I suppose.
Your commands tire me.
So Leftover Lads has a lot of tools available to them as well. When you couple that Taric ult with a Tristana who can jump in, and a Graves who can also dash forward, it's gonna be in like a really explosive team fight, and a lot of burst coming out from them. Sentinels' comp, it takes a little bit more time to rev up. Obviously, the longer this game goes, the more they're going to benefit from that scaling. But however, you want to keep in mind that Tristana is actually one of the champions that scales relatively similarly to Kai'Sa. Perhaps the only other heavier scaling AD carry is Kog'Maw. So definitely going to be a game where we're going to see how both teams can navigate these compositions, and definitely both teams structuring themselves around team fights. In terms of laning phases, we can go over that as well. I think it's going to be pretty similar to last game in the top lane, because both of these players are on the same exact champions, so I don't think we're going to see any surprises there. The only thing that really changes for them is the jungle interaction, because this time around Talia was banned, so Honor Jungle gonna have to play that Graves instead of Talia. And it'll be interesting to see how well Urgot can do in the mid lane here, because he's gonna be a champion that does a lot of damage up close, but Syndra has such a superior range on him that he's going to be hard pressed to get through this laning phase unscathed. I think we can expect Pickaxe to struggle a little bit in the early game. But as time goes on and we get into some of these 2v2s and 3v3s, that's where Urgot should shine. Obviously, the Fear Beyond Death being his most explosive and interesting ability. If he is able to get one of these executes down and get into the back line, then his Fear can provide a lot of utility for Sentinels. And as for bot lane laning phase, I think it's going to be very similar to last game as well. We see a lot of the same picks that we saw in game 2. And actually I think the same exact picks as well in the bot lane as game 2. If the summoner spells are listed correctly, we are going to see Taric take Exhaust and Braum take Ignite, which is a bit of asymmetry that we should keep an eye on. It might give Braum a little bit of an edge in the laning phase over Taric. Liquid and fourth was a really big nuisance on the Braum last game, and he was able to step forward a lot of the time in lane and make Astrus and Altunix look really uncomfortable during the laning phase. At times though, he did overstep his bounds, and it allowed Honor Jungle to get in there and on the Talia and disrupt bot lane, but things might be a little bit different this time with the Graves, who isn't going to be able to assist his bot lane quite as similarly as a Talia would be able to. But yeah, nice short and sweet way of putting it is that it's basically like Drop the Chalupa says in chat. It's basically like game 2, but with different mids and junglers for both sides. And of course they have changed sides. And I need a... Wait, did I update? Yeah, I updated the overlay, so it should look proper. Sentinel's gonna be taking the blue side this time, and look at that. We're actually gonna get in the game here without a hiccup. So, Sentinel's on the blue side this time around. The leftover lads on the red side. Game 3, coming in hot.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Don't we all love a nice game 3 in P Cup?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So nothing too interesting coming out from both sides this time. Each game has been fairly simple when it comes to level 1, no invades yet.
Minions have spawned.
In the past 2 games, Peachy Lotte has favored a hard farming sort of path for the first few levels. So we'll see if he goes into that hard farming path again. I think in general the strategy will work pretty well because he will be able to farm his jungle a little bit faster than Graves here. He was able to get a bit of a more substantial leash than Graves got. We see some early trinket usage actually going down as well for both sides. So the mid laners might be a little bit blind to a few ganks in the next few minutes here, because they've both placed their wards already. And it looks like actually Peachy Lotte is going to get punished here for farming his bot side jungle so heavily. Oh, Urk going to actually take that fight willingly, and his Grasp of the Undying proc going to be superior, taking out Roxas there. Roxas looked like he had the better end of that trade, but he was taking a lot of minion aggro, so that could have factored into the result there. Nice dazzle coming out here from O2 next. But like I was saying, Graves is going to be able to take away the blue buff from Nocturne here. It looks like actually Nocturne's going to be able to reciprocate with a blue buff steal on the bot side, so really intelligent pathing coming out of Peachy Lotte here. I think this is just sort of a standard thing that we see from junglers, understanding the matchup and understanding what the other jungler is likely to do, and responding in kind. So, really smart from both of them. However, Nocturne is not able to complete any other camps beside that blue buff in the bot side jungle there, so a little bit of advantage going to Graves here. Roxas taking a couple turret shots. It's going to force him away. And Nocturne's going to get spotted on this ward in the top jungle, I believe. He hasn't been spotted yet. And actually, Pickaxe doing a pretty good job in mid lane, keeping his health bar up. Babs actually at about half mana. Rom taking a bit of damage here. He's gonna get the concussive blows proc onto Otunix there. But these supports are just too tanky for the time being. Taunt not going to land onto Roxas, but he might be in a little bit of trouble here. He's got the HP disadvantage. Shen actually sitting on a pair of longswords, so he has quite a bit of extra AD than you would normally expect at this point in the game, having secured that first blood. He's at level 5 now, so he's just a few minion waves away from level 6 and maybe being able to assist in mid lane, bot lane. Tanks an extra turret shot there, but Roxas is in a lot of trouble early on here. He's likely going to have to recall after this next wave and teleport back into lane. It's going to give quite an advantage globally with his ultimate. So something to watch out for in the next few moments. Will Nocturne be able to path down into bot lane here anytime soon? He's actually going to be pathing into mid lane here to help out with a counter gank. And look at that, Shen already has his ultimate ready. He's going to be taunting in here. Going to look at it to finish off Honor Jungle, but he's not going to be able to get it. Babs flashing forward, looking for the kill on the Peachy Lotte, but he's going to be able to dodge out of that. So Babs going to be walking away here. One summoner spell less and Honor Jungle as well. But that is the Shen ult burned without really much of a pay for it. But this is a lot of pressure coming down from Pickaxe. He doesn't have the ult. I think he actually missed it in that last engage. So he's not going to be able to kill Babs here right now. But this is really problematic for Babs because he is sitting on just about one spell usage of mana left, and he really wants to recall. Otunix looking for the dazzle, not going to quite hit it. Was trying to interrupt the recall there of Liquid in the 4th. But Pickaxe actually recalling there. It's a free recall for him, but he's also going to allow Syndra a free recall, which is a bit of unfortunate because he had such a pressure advantage in the mid lane. If things had gone a little bit better for them with the Shen ultimate engaged a few minutes prior, then it could have been really bad news for Syndra, but at the moment she's currently sitting on a nice CS lead at the moment, and that recall was able to allow her to get back to base and fill up her mana bar. Collinator hitting level 6 here a little bit earlier than his lane partner. But Asterisk should be able to hit level 6 here along with his support on this wave. Oh no, just Asterisk, not both of them. Nocturne ult gonna be looking here for the pick on the Graves. Gonna dash in here. Collinator going really deep. Is he gonna get the 4th shot proc? Yes he is. Is he gonna finish off the Graves jungle here? Pickaxe looking for the dive here. He's gonna finish off Babs. Yes he is. Nocturne with another kill. to go along with his assist. So really nice proactive move there, moving off of their bot lane line there in conjunction with the mid and jungle, so nicely done. Taken pretty low here. Does Roxas have enough damage to finish him off? We'll see, I guess. Liquid in fourth, kind of zoned out here from his minion wave, but he does have support behind him if they want to make a play here. It looks like Nocturne's actually stuck in behind them. But leftover lads, maybe they're gonna be okay here. So nothing happens in the bot lane, but Sentinels does have a superior vision advantage in the bot lane. You can see that they have actually placed 4 control wards down. Pickaxe doing tons of damage. This is why Urgot is so oppressive right now. See what happened in the mid lane. Shed gonna channel his ultimate. We have a fight going down in bot lane at the same time, and that's just gonna be a disengage from and Pickaxe in the mid lane. Meanwhile, the leftover lads being pushed back in the bot lane. So a bit of a skirmish in both mid lane and bot lane there. Nothing gonna end up happening though. Kaisa actually looking for a roam mid here. This is really intelligent pathing from her. Nocturne gonna get that ult down, and this is gonna be set up really nicely for Collinator. Pickaxe barely able to stay alive there through the Syndra ultimate. And that's one of those sneaky little marksman roams that you can do. Kaisa being one of the best ones who can do it with that ultimate. We got a few cheers for fantasy points. Sharkbait, I guess, picking the Sentinels AD carry this week. And yeah, that bot lane priority for Sentinels this game has been the story of the match. They've used it to their advantage greatly, and it's put a lot of pressure on Syndra and Graves. Honor jungle looking to clear out this control ward here, but Pickaxe, he's just too intimidating on the Urgot here. Roxas has actually looked for a little bit of a roam down here from top lane. Maybe to assist out in a potential fight, but nothing's going to actually break out. In top lane is able to push it in. He's got a bit of a level advantage here. He's going to get a slow down onto Roxas and prevent a lot of auto attack damage coming down. Taunt lands onto Roxas. Roxas is in a bit of trouble here. Does have enough damage to finish him off? That Tiamat doing a lot of work. Mid lane fight as well. Exhaust goes down from Pickaxe with the spellbook. But that's just a little bit of an extra luxury spell for him. It's not going to mean much. Get a look at the gold values here as we see a top lane fight breaking out. Roxas landing a few extra spells onto but has him in his grasp. Jump forward here from Astralis. They get the stun down. Oh, Tunic's a little bit late on the ultimate. Collinator looking to ult away. We have a Shen ult being teleported here with the Urgot as well. There's going to be 5 members in the bot lane here. Nocturne going to channel his ultimate into the bot lane as well, and this is going to be Sentinels cleaning house. Really impressive work from them, finishing off that team fight with all members showing up. That's a 3-for-0, and they're really in the driver's seat now. This is going to be first blood turret going over to them. And let's see what... I think they gave over about a third of gold to Nocturne, Kaisa, and Urgot evenly split in the first blood turret take there. And they are threatening to take a Mountain Drake here, but they've decided against it. opting to play it a bit slower here, a bit safer. I think that's a fine decision to make. Oh, and we're gonna get a pause here. So again, that story of the match has been bot lane's Sentinels bot lane really having their way with things, and it's led to them accumulating a bit of a lead for their Kai'Sa, and it's been able to set Syndra back a little bit with a nicely timed realm in the mid lane. And it's also put a little bit of pressure onto Graves as well, taking him out in the jungle. And they've been able to accumulate that lead, and they were able to turn around that Graves gank in the bot lane really nicely. And that's represented well in the scoreline now. They have about a 3.5k gold lead. Something else to note is that seems to be having a lot of success in top lane after that first kill went over to him. So all pistons are firing for Sentinels this game. They haven't managed to take any neutral objectives, but I assume that that's going to be their next objectives to take. It should allow them to take these turrets down more easily. And Urgot actually just was able to finish his Black Cleaver on the last recall, and it looks like he's pathing down to bot lane here, so that's going to be nice for him. He's going to have a lot of damage if he gets into any of these fights where he's able to proc a bunch of his Black Cleaver stacks onto the opposing champions. And thankfully for the leftover lads, Tristana has been able to finish off her first item, which is the Storm Razor. And we can take a look at some of the relative gold values. It's pretty even in the mid lane at the moment, but the big differences are in the bot lane, where Kai'Sa has a 1700 gold advantage, and in the jungle and the top lane as well, especially in the jungle actually, where Nocturne has about a 1k gold lead. Alrighty, so looks like we got some R's being thrown down in the chat. Looks like both teams are ready, so hopefully they press that unpause button soon. And if you're just joining us, this is Sentinels versus the Leftover Lads. We're currently in Game 3 of this best of 3 series. And we're gonna get back into the action here, see if Leftover Lads can claw their way back into this one. We're just approaching the 14-minute mark now, so there is a lot of League of Legends left to be played in this game. No, they're not saying that word in the chat, Sharkbait. Ooh, Syndra's gonna land onto Braum there. It's not going to mean too much. Roxas looking for a deep trade here. That is a Titanic Hydra Shen, so he does a lot of damage, and Ert's going to look for this taunt here. It's going to be a little bit short. Roxas missing the knock up there. blue buff does get handed over to Syndra here, she'll definitely like that. And she does have a stopwatch as well in her inventory, so we'll see how she utilizes that. But it looks like it's gonna be pretty difficult for the leftover lads to make any plays here because of how far behind they are. Relatively speaking, we are talking about 20% gold advantage for the Sentinels. Roxas gonna knock up Liquid here, but Pichilote is looking for a Nocturnal. He's gonna dissuade, but he's actually gonna go in with Shen's ult. And Shen's gonna get a double taunt here. And Otunex's ultimate is not gonna save anyone. It was just a little bit too late there, so the top laner and jungle for leftover lads gonna be falling there from a nicely timed Nocturne and Shen combination. Ooh, Pickaxe actually jumping forward here, looking for that Fear Beyond Death. Not gonna find it. Asher's jumping away, but Liquid is chasing down Babs right now. Is he gonna find this Fear Beyond Death? He misses actually, but he's gonna get the final hit onto Babs there, who wasn't really able to make much use of that Zonya's, or excuse me, that stopwatch, because she was in full retreat. It wasn't gonna help her. And meanwhile, Shen is able to take that top lane turret. Pickaxe getting a lot of damage here on the mid lane turret, and Rift Herald falling as well to Nocturne. And you can see like just how much Sentinels has peppered the map with their vision. They have complete control over the vision game this time around. But Otunix is trying to clear out as much as he can. Pichilote has his ultimate off cooldown now, so see if he's able to make any plays happen with that Nocturne ultimate. Mid lane turret, excuse me, is very low on the side of leftover lads, so Graves is gonna want to sit mid here, try to protect his Syndra for as long as possible, because the dive is highly likely. And now that Kai'Sa and Braum have the ability to roam around the map here, they're going to be able to pressure mid lane even more. Let's see what happens here. Pickaxe looking for an engage here. Babs is already taken down to half health, so he's going to have to be very careful. Looking for a deep trade here. He's going to look for the flash in. Roxas does have that shield though, and Urt's going to be left out to dry, hanging out to dry here, and he's going to take that last turret shot. He's going to bring him down. Roxas with a nice kill there. So Urt's going to be dead for the next 30 seconds. He does have his ultimate and teleport available to him though as soon as he gets up, but Kai'Sa going to take down this mid lane turret in the meantime. So as we transition here into the mid game, away from the early game, we're going to see how both of these teams address their current situation. But it certainly seems like Sentinels is in control of things here, and it's going to take a bit of a miracle for leftover lads to come back. They don't really have the scaling on their side this time, and coming out of the laning phase here with a bit of a deficit is going to mean a lot of harm for them. Nocturne going to channel the ultimate here. Shen is going to ultimate on top of him as well. We see the Terracolt coming down, but it's too late again. Syndra's gonna drop. Asher's here in the back line, still alive, but Collinator is too. He's gonna get that proc down onto Otunix, and he's gonna take him out for a double kill. Roxas in the front lines here. He's got a lot of meat to him though, but Urt's gonna get that taunt, but oh, Collinator's gonna have to path away, and he's actually gonna path down into the turret, which is actually really smart from him because they do have a minion wave there, and he's not gonna take any turret damage. He was able to get out, but he had to burn his summoner heal there. Pickaxe coming back in here. He left the fight for a little bit there, but I think he's come back in here. And he's full health. Doesn't have his ultimate available, but he's a really intimidating force. Pichilote gonna channel that Rift Herald, so it's gonna charge in here. But Roxas wants to look for a fight potentially, and Scatter the Weak's gonna land onto Collinator here. He gets a heal timely in from Pickaxe. Exhaust comes down from the Leftover Lad's support, but look at the backline. Collinator's still alive, and Nocturne ult back up again, and he's gonna finish off Babs for a 4-for-0. Triple kill as well going over to Collinator, and he's massive. And they look like they're not gonna give up here. Even with a 3k in the bank for Collinator, they're going to push on through here, take out this inhib. That's going to mean a lot for them because it is in the bot lane. They can reset, go back, take Infernal Drake, and then look to take a Baron because there's going to be a member always in this bot lane now for Leftover Lads clearing out minion waves. It looks like they're going to opt to send Braum back to base and Shen as well. And Urgot and Nocturne can finish off this Infernal. So definitely a lot different of a game this time. Very clean result, it feels like, for Sentinels. You can see just how much vision they have as well. All on the bot side, so now they're gonna move some of that vision up into the top side. Really nicely done from them. Leftover Lads just not quite doing enough here in this third game. I think you can objectively say they got outdrafted by Sentinels, and it's just been really difficult for them dealing with the Urgot and the Kaisa, who seems to be like a super powerful pick right now. Braum getting caught out here, or not Braum, Taric getting caught out actually, but his Dazzle's gonna save him. They've actually decided to place Tristana in bot lane to try to get her more farm, and what that means is it's gonna allow Sentinels to come over here to this Baron and likely get a free Baron. I think the call is... Oh, the call is actually to fight here. They're going to sit in the Fog of War and engage here. Pichilote is going to take out Babs, and Collinator is going to take out Otunix. So that's going to be a 2-for-0 for Sentinels, and likely a Baron as well. They do have a Mountain Drake, so this thing drops even faster. And yeah, you gotta kind of wonder what Leftover Lads were thinking there. The lane assignment looked like they were just gonna surrender the Baron, but Babs and Honor Jungle, or excuse me, Babs and Otunix deciding to try to contest the Baron anyway results in their death. Urgot just way too much of a nuisance with his Righteous Glory flying in there, providing that slow and catching two members of Leftover Lads off guard. And Syndra here is only on one item, so she's going to have a really difficult time clearing out these Baron minions. You know, it seems like the earlier you can get Baron, the more of a nuisance it will be. But also as late as possible as well, because you do get that scaling AD and AP buff. So it's a pretty easy inner turret take for Sentinels. And Pickaxe is putting a lot of pressure down here in the mid lane. And as you can see, Astra is still farming out in the bot lane. He's not really able to assist his team because he has to clear out the minions there. And that's going to allow Pickaxe to jump in here onto Roxas. All laner going to finish off that turret, and he's actually going to finish off Ornn as well. And Peachy Lotte, no fear here now. They're really far ahead. Pickaxe going to flash forward here looking for additional disruption, and wow, look at how much damage Collinator does. He almost takes out Tunix with that Void Seeker, I believe. And this is just a complete demolition derby right now. All about those stat padding now. And yeah, clean reset for Sentinels. They've taken 3 inhibs now, so they're gonna get double supers coming in through all lanes, and that's gonna require the leftover lads to essentially be confined to their base for the next few minutes as they wait for their inhibs to come back up. But it doesn't look like they're gonna even be able to stave off that. And should be a pretty quick finish here for Sentinels, given their massive advantage. They're now sitting at about 15,000 gold in the lead. And this big wave in top lane going to be buffed up by Baron and Shen. Baron buff about to expire now in the next 15 seconds, but they're going to get the very last usage out of it. Try to take down this bot lane inhib. Scout of the Week's going to try to provide a little bit more extra wave clear. Ornn's going to knock up Urt there, but on the side, Kai'Sa finishes off Taric before he can even ult. And those Taric ults haven't been really sufficient enough. That's for sure this game. Fear Beyond Death gonna land onto Syndra there, finishes her off, and it's gonna be Pickaxe finishing off another kill just in time to see that Nexus explode, and Sentinels with a nice 2-1 victory here tonight. So we'll get a bit of a look here at the final results from Game 3. So yeah, that's going to be it for this series. I'm going to get a bit of an interview here, hopefully. Definitely GG's to both sides. But in the end, it's going to be Sentinels taking the series 2-1. And one sec, hopefully I can drag someone up here.
Satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Yo, what's up, Peachy Lotte?
Hey, how's it going? I was dragged. Hello, how's it going, dude?
Yo, you've been dragged up here to do this interview. So I just wanted to hear from you because I know that you're a pretty influential member in the team. I don't know who does the pick and ban, but maybe I can get your perspective on what your sort of strategy was coming into this series.
Well, I usually do the draft like pre-hand, like we set the bases, like we OP.GG them, and we usually do like 6 or 7 suggested bans, and then based on the ban phase, we usually go about it. So that's the way we usually do it. And we actually hadn't practiced Nocturne Urgot this whole time. We've been practicing like, I don't want to reveal it, but we've been practicing other things with it. But we saw a lot of drive threats in the first game, and we picked it up, and then we figured out, holy that's really strong. So that's basically the basis of how we won there. Obviously, they gave us Heimer game 1, which is we haven't played that in ages, but that's Colin's favorite champion, so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Always happy to pick that up when it's available to us.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Urgot was like one of the most impactful picks this series, I think. How do you think that pick sort of like helps out your team in fights?
Well, just in general, it puts a lot of pressure mid, so I can make. Usually, it's one of those champions that you can't really move out of mid lane, and he's got so much control that we can easily contest the Scuttle Crabs early. I don't think we could contest it the first one this time because of Graves and Syndra, but after like the first couple scuds, it's like free, and then we usually take the advantage from Urgot and translate it everywhere else because of the amount of CC that he provides for the team and as well as his tankiness. So it allows me to play a carry alongside with it, and then we just play Bash Brothers.
Nice.
So that's really good. And our top laner is like, don't give him Shen. Basically, he's insane on it, and he helps. Nocturne Shen is crazy. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was the pick to take this time, being first picked by you guys a couple times this time. And so this is like your first season in Prophecy Cup. What sort of things have like helped you prepare for some of these matchups, and what sort of things have helped you essentially play as well as you have currently sitting in the top 4 right now?
I think a lot of the credit goes to Pickaxe being able to, direct comms a bit in game. I don't necessarily say he shot calls, but he does keep everyone calm down and focused so that we can make our next plays. And just in general, having been playing for a long time together, or not so much Pickaxe, but Pickaxe, myself and Colin have been playing for a good amount of time at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got a lot of good communication. We got a lot of trust in each other. And so with that backbone, we're able, with our 2 pickups of our top laner and support, we're just able to win as a team. And even though I wasn't the starting jungler for a while, I was there during the whole time. I was mainly, coaching the team.
Mm-hmm.
And, being able to slot right into the team when we needed it to helped a lot.
Nice. And yeah, what was there anything that I guess you could sort of go over how the 2 new members of your team, like this week I believe it was their first time playing in Prophecy Cup. Was that difficult to overcome, or do you think it came pretty naturally?
We played so many scrims this week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think we did like I think at one point we played 2 sets of scrims on one day, Friday. I wasn't there to test out the support, but we needed to test out the support quick, obviously. So we did 2 block sets, and then we did another one Saturday. So we got a lot of practice with this team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like it certainly paid off for you guys. Let's see. So that was your week 4 matchup. Now you've got week 5, looking to play the Busaders. What sort of stuff do you expect for that series, or have you even thought about it much?
We actually scrimmed them last week or 2 weeks ago. It's right after their last role swap around, and they did decent. I can reveal it. We lost to them.
Oh yeah.
But it was back with our old roster, so we can say that handily that we might be able to beat them in this next one. So we're definitely respecting them because they definitely did have points of strength there, and we hadn't discovered our playstyle yet. But now that we're kind of uncovering it now, it's beginning to look a lot cleaner in the games that we're winning.
Nice.
So I think we're gonna win that one as well. Honestly, I'm pretty confident in the team.
Right on. Yeah, I think the Buceters are a team that, you know, they're looking like they're at the bottom of the table, but actually in reality, maybe they've just had a bit of an unlucky streak, so they might actually be a lot better than people might think at first. So yeah, that should be a fun one. So thanks for joining me here for a bit of an interview. Do you have anything else you want to say, or shout outs?
Shout outs to my boys Hot 5. We're taking you guys down. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Peachy Lotte.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, Prophecy Cup. So thanks so much for joining us for Sentinels versus Leftover Lads here in week 4. And the next stream, I believe, will be likely on Wednesday when we have a pair of matches. Leftover Lads are going to be playing again that night versus Baby Shark, and Vortex is going to be taking on Sad Boys as well on Wednesday. And so we're probably going to do a double stream that night, as long as we can get enough hosts for that. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you all for the follows as well, and we'll catch you next time.
I'm feeling so hollow. Don't you know? Don't you know? I'm living in shadow. Don't you know? Don't you know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fool's gold. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. Oh, they say fools believe in it, so I guess I'm one of them. Oh, don't you know? I fell for fools gold. I fell for fools gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fools gold. I fell for fools gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fools gold. Yes, I did.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and